Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to be showing you my version of a cabbage mango salad that you put on fish. I had this once in I've had it more than once in Thai restaurants, but they put a lot of sugar and stuff in there, and me being keto, I have keto-fied it, so to speak, and made it more to my liking, and so I'm going to share that recipe with you. And so what we're going to start with is fish sauce. We're going to put all this stuff in the bowl here. We always make the sauce first and then we put in the cabbage and the other stuff. So we got a fish sauce here. You know, you can get this at Fred Meyer's or at your local stores. Every place is selling this stuff now. So you want to put some of this in there. I'm going to say, 4 tablespoons or so. Not a lot because it is fishy. Of course, if you have fish allergies or shellfish allergies, you might not want that because this is, I'm not sure what they make it with, what it is, but it's good stuff. And into that, we got 2 limes here. We're just going to cut these limes in half and just put all that juice in the bowl with that fish sauce. Fresh lime juice is what you want to use. That stuff in the plastic bottles you buy in the supermarket, I don't even know if that's lime juice, but it tastes nothing like a lime. So you want to really use a fresh lime juice. Just one second here. Pro tip: you ain't got juice here, get your little spoon or a fork. Bring that closer. You just put that in there, and you just roll that lime around there, and you can see it just gets all that juice out of there. And this, you'll see a little pulp going in, but that's good because that's flavor. So we're going to put the juice of 2 limes in there. Okay. So basically, I really don't like fish, but so I find ways to cook it that I will like it, and this is one of the ways that it's just absolutely awesome. Okay, second half. Here we go. So yes, the juice of 2 limes. Hopefully, you get a little of that pulp in there because that's really good flavor. And I did get a garbage bowl this time. There we go. And into that, I got this right here. If you've never seen this before, this is what they call lemongrass. It does have a lemony flavor to it. And I never use the ends of it where it's really dark and green. I always use the last part, the bottom part that's more pale and white. It's just less, I don't know, it's less barky, I guess is the name for it. And so what you want to do with it though, before you use it, is just take a knife or whatever you got, and you want to give it a good bash, because this will help the oil come out of it. So just give it a good bash with the back of your knife or a meat tenderizer, whatever you got. Yeah, that's living. It looks like that. When you flatten it out, the juices come out. And so what we're going to do is just take your knife and just slice it off like you were slicing onions or basil, just in little strips there, not too much of it, just where you smash them. And we're going to put this in the bowl with the rest of the sauce here, and that's going to give it a great flavor. And after that, we're going to set that aside. Green onions. What I'm going to put in here now is just the whites. We will use the green part here with the cabbage and everything later, but for right now, we're just going to use the whites. And I'll show you why. We just want to slice that thin, as thin as you can. You want to keep a knife sharp, or yeah, you're just going to miss and slip. So you can see it's very thin there. We're just going to throw that in there. The thinner you slice the onion, the more flavor comes out when it's sitting in this marinade sauce and with the cabbage and everything in there. So the next one, just get it as thin as you possibly can. And if you happen to hear background noise and stuff in the kitchen, keep in mind that this is my kitchen. It's not a studio, so this is my nightly dinner here. So forgive any background noises. So we got that now, and we got these here, dried chilies, red chilies. I mean, this is a must. We like our spicy, so I'm going to use 3. But you can even leave them out if you want to, but it is going to change the flavor. and just give them a quick dice through, because we're going to put in all the red starts, the seeds and everything, and that's going to give it that nice little bite. You can use fresh chilies if you got them. You could probably even use a jalapeno pepper or serrano peppers or whatever pepper you want. They're just something to give it some spice if you want the spice. I like the dried chilies. We buy these big packs of Thai chilies at our local Asian market, and my wife dries them. And here we go. So the chili's in there. Next, this is what I use for sweetener. I use monk fruit sweetener. Again, I'm keto, so I don't use regular sugar, but if you're not keto, you can use regular sugar if you want. But yeah, we're gonna put about, well, this stuff that says it's a 1-to-1 sugar replacement, but it's not, it's sweeter than sugar. So I'm probably gonna put about a tablespoon in there. Yeah, just a tablespoon. Because you want to have a little sweetness because you got the lime juice and the lemongrass. And this stuff right here is the next thing we're putting in there. It is concentrated cooking tamarindo. It's a tamarindo paste. A tamarindo, it's a bean. It's a long bean that you'll find in a lot. They use it a lot in like Mexican foods and Thai foods. You can buy this stuff at your local grocery store. Just look in the Mexican food section. In the ethnic food sections, you can find it. And if you can't find the paste in the liquid, you can find, they'll always have like a really thick stuff. You can just add a teaspoon of that with a 1/4 cup of water and just mix it up real good in your blender and get this paste here. So you can find this. You might even be able to find this in your store. So yeah, I'm gonna put a tablespoon of that in there. Whoops, there we go. Tablespoon. Let's set this out of the way here. Put a little dip all over the place in the extra bowl. There we go. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our spoon and mix all this stuff in here to get it going and get your sweetener dissolved. And the last thing I will add to this, I'm gonna put some garlic and ginger. But right now I want to get the sweetener dissolved in there, because the monk fruit, it takes a little bit longer to dissolve than regular sugar. So, all right, got that there. And let me get the garlic and the ginger. Okay, I'm back. I knew I forgot a few things. So I got a ginger here, just a piece of ginger root. I'm going to slice off. Well, you know, just a nice slice like that, just a 1/4 slice there. Set that aside. And you want to peel this. You want to take the peel off because it can get chewy. Everybody has their ways of peeling it. Some people take a spoon and scrape it, but if you're not using a lot of it, that's just not very practical because you're going to have a lot of unpeeled ginger. So got that all peeled there. And again with this, also you want to slice it just as thin as possible. The thinner it is, the quicker it takes and it reduces its flavor into the marinade. That's enough of that. And then you just take it again and just dice it again really fine. And give it a quick smash up. And there you go. You just put that in, that's just a teaspoon of fresh ginger. Put that in there with it. And you never can forget the garlic. Garlic is very important. So I'm just going to have these 2 small cloves. Just give them a bash. The peel comes off pretty easy after that. And if you notice, I'm not putting no salt or nothing in this because everything I'm putting in the fish sauce, the tamarindo paste, everything in there is salty, so we don't need no salt in there. And then with the garlic, same thing, just give it a nice quick chop. Small and thin as you can. Give it a good bash. There we go. Now all the oils and juices starting to come out of the garlic. And you put that in the sauce. And the last thing I'm going to put in the sauce is basil. And I'm sure y'all know the basil. Not too much, but I'm just going to put the leaves. We don't want to put the stems in there. Sometimes when I'm making soup, I just put the whole thing in there because the stems got flavor too. But for this, it's not going to be cooked. So we are just going to use the leaves. And this is Thai basil. They got many different types of basil. Thai basil is one of my favorites. It's got a little bit of a I don't know, maybe sort of a spicy little taste to it. So, and with the basil, let me go ahead and clean this up a little bit. There we go. With the basil, what I do is I just put it all together any way you can. If you want to take the time to make a nice little roll, you can, but I never do that. I just put it all together in a bunch, get rid of the chili stem, and we're just going to slice this very thin. You don't want to bruise it too much, because when you're eating the salad and you get these nice little strands of basil in there, it's just a fantastic flavor. Okay, throw that up there. And with this, just give it a smash, just a mash, and that's going to help them oils start coming out. Sometimes I'll put a little salt on the basil when I'm using it, and that helps draw the moisture out and the salt and the oils. But since, like I said, the marinade is already salty, I'm not putting no salt, so it will draw it out because it's going to set while we're preparing the fish and the cabbage. And so that's it. I don't know what that is, probably a tablespoon of basil. Put that in there. And just give that a good mix. Okay, so now for the vegetable parts. Here's where the greens come in, the green onions. What we're going to do is cut them, and then you want to slice them in half, slice them in quarters, and just what I call a roll cut. Just keep rolling the onion and slicing little slivers off. It's like julienned the onion, the green onion, so you got little things like this. With the rest of the onion, just, yeah, if you could roll it, it helps sometimes. And there you go, and we're going to put these in here as well. Again, half it, and just start roll cutting it. Just roll cut it a little bit until you get the julienne onions. There we go. Nice little shreds. It's all going in the bowl there. And what's going to happen is while we're cooking the fish, this is going to be sitting there and soaking, and all the salt in there is going to bring all the moisture and all the water out of all these vegetables we're putting in there. And it is really going to be something. Okay, garlic, ginger, I'll put the rest of that in there. Now, carrot, just a little bit. We're going to julienne this carrot up. Just slice it as thin as you can. And you don't need to put much, or you can put a lot if you want. But I don't, because it is high in sugar, so I use very little of it. You know, again, due to keto. And just stack it and just slice it thin. It helps to have a sharp knife, because if not, you're going to be slipping and cutting. So yeah, just little matchsticks like that. Put that in there. We'll set that aside here, because I'll use that for something else later. The next thing we'll add in there, another vegetable, is these cherry tomatoes. Just slice them in half, and toss it in there. Again, if your knife ain't sharp, you might be squishing a lot of tomatoes, but so just always get a sharp knife. A few more. Again, because the more tomatoes I put in there, the more carbs and sugars I'm putting in there, so this is going to be it. And again, I'm not eating this all myself, you know, this is for me and my wife. Okay, so now here's the cabbage, the piece de resistance. We're just going to go ahead and cut what cores off of there. This is some cabbage I had left over from the big head. Take off that outer leaf. And go down the side here, you can see where I cut it. I'm going to just shave that off to get the dried out part. Clean that up. Throw it in your garbage bowl there. Now what I'm going to do is just keep slicing down here just as thin as I can get this cabbage. And then we're going to put it in the bowl and we're going to mix it all up. And then the last thing we'll add, after I get this out, I'm going to take a little bit out of the bowl for myself. And then, but for my wife, I'm going to put some mango in there. Okay, so here we go. Just again, just slice that just thin, just as thin as you can. If your knife is not sharp, this is going to be a little bit difficult. Cut that out there. Yeah, just keep slicing it as much as you want. I'm going to put in about 2 cups of the cabbage here. And again, all the ingredients and the amounts will be in the description below, so you can check that out there. Keto, it's very, I mean, cabbage is very keto friendly. So here we go. You can see I slice it really thin. So we're going to throw that in the bowl. Bring the bowl back over here. Put that aside, and then we're going to give this a good mix up here. Get this stuff out of here to give it a good mix up. There we go. This works great. But you know what? Manual food processors, it always works. But yeah, but if you're cooking for guests, this might not be something you want to do because they might not like it too much. It can get messy. And so when this sets in here, this cabbage is going to reach a lot of water. These tomatoes will release juice, all the carrots, and so it's going to sort of dilute all the fish sauce and the tamarind and everything we put in there. And so it's just going to make it just perfect. It's going to get that basil going on, and I mean, this is just a really, really good salad to put on a fish. There we go. It'll mix up more. You want to get it all nice and mixed. There we go. And when you go to the Thai restaurants, you'll see, if you ever find this, it's a trout salad. They will put cashews in there. But since I'm on, again, keto, I can't eat the cashew nut, but what I'm substituting is a pecan, because pecan nuts, with the carbs and the fibers that nullifies out, so this is pretty much a carb-free food, if you understand how to get your net carbs, because there is 2 net grams of, there is 4 total carbohydrates in here, plus 3 grams of fiber, so you got 1 gram of net carbs per quarter cup of pecans. I mean, you can't beat that. So they're a really good snack food if you need them, but me personally, I just do I eat once a day, every 23 to 25 hours. And so I don't do the snacks, but if you need a snack, there you go. Pecans are great for keto. You rub in a little bit of cream cheese, it goes good. Oh, sorry about that. That was some chicken legs I had cooking. So what we're gonna do with the pecans, we're gonna go ahead and give them a good chop up. We don't want them too fine. You want a little nut in the salad, get a crunch. But if you're not keto, again, you can use the cashews, or you can use peanuts or walnuts or macadamia nuts or whatever kind of nut you like. But yeah, just slice them up, just like you're gonna be putting them on a pecan pie or something. All right, there we go. We're gonna throw that in there, and these are gonna release some oils in there as well. And so I'm gonna give that a good mix up, and then I'm gonna take a little bit out and set it aside for myself. Go. All right, put that mater back in there. Get me a little dish here. And I'm going to transfer this into a bowl later because it will release a lot of juice. So there we go. Put that there. There we go. It's my portion without the mango. Now continue this bowl here. Yeah, I know I use my manual food processors a lot, but they're clean, they're washed, and it's just for me and my wife. So what I'm gonna do is just add her little mango. This is a nice ripe mango, look at that. And the way I do it is, I just slice it down the center with the knife. You wanna make sure you don't go through and cut yourself. Across the center like that. We're making a checkerboard here. And then if you do it right, and you click it like that, you get the little squares there. And you just gently and just cut them off. You don't want to get too close to the peel on there because that could get green and bitter. So just, especially here, where you really can't get good ripe mangoes. Now, if you're in Hawaii or someplace like that where you got the nice mangoes, hey, knock yourself out. But here we go. All right, there we go. Put that in the garbage bowl. And now I'm going to use a spoon since it's a little bit. There we go. Okay, so here, that is our complete cabbage mango salad, Thai style, to go with the fish I'm going to be cooking. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean up all this mess here. As you can see, I'm a messy cook. And then I'm going to come back and show you the fish we're cooking and how I prepare that. So I will just, like 2 seconds. Okay, let's talk about the fish. What I got here is I got a nice fillet of a barramundi fish. It is like a giant tilapia. We got it at Costco. They were selling a couple fillets, and I decided, I'm gonna try that fish. The little grayness there you can see in there, that sort of turned me off, but then it is a, it is a bottom fish, I believe. So anyway, what I'm gonna do and how I prepare this fish, this is gonna be deep fried. I got the oil outside heating on a burner. I don't deep fry in the house, especially fish, because you'll never get that smell out. So I was gonna show you how to prepare it and how I do it. I'm sure everybody knows what deep frying is. It's not a pan fry. I mean, deep fry means you got a good amount of oil in your pan. That way the whole fish can be put in there all at once, and it covers it and it deep fries it. That's deep fry versus a pan fry, which is just a little oil in the pan where you have to flip it back and forth. No, we're deep frying this baby. So anyway, what I'm gonna do start with is get a sharp knife, and yes, it's the same knife I use, but when you wash your knife and sanitize your knife, it's not a problem. So what I'm gonna do is we're just gonna cut little diagonal slots along the back of the fish where the skin's at. And what that's going to do is just going to help the skin get really crispy, because this skin, once you fry it and deep fry it, it's really tasty. And so we're just going to cut it. I mean, you don't want to cut all the way across the fish, just right down the middle, and don't go too far down into the meat. Just right down the middle, there we go. And this was already scaled and cleaned when we got it from Costco, so that's another good thing about it. So as you can see here, the little slices I made, just like that. You're just going to go down the fish in diagonal slice. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it over. And what I like to do is the same thing on this, because when it deep fries, it's going to make a nice little chunk for you to peel off. So just, just give it a nice little slice across the top. And this is also going to help when you put your salad back on the marinade. All that marinade is going to go down inside these little cuts here. It's just going to be fantastic. You get flavor all the way through. So just about a 1/4 inch deep, just like on the back, just like that. And now from the seasoning. We want to season both the back, the skin. I just got some kosher salt. That's what I'm going to season the skin with, because that's going to help it crisp up. So just put that on there. Put a pretty good generous amount, because when it goes in that deep fryer in that hot grease, some of it's going to come off. There we go. And give it a good pat down. And a little fine black pepper. You want fine ground for. A lot of people, when they use black pepper in their food, they will use a cracker and it's coarse ground. Well, coarse ground is good if you're just putting it in the soups or you just for looks in a salad. But when you're actually using it for seasoning and flavoring, you want the fine ground. That way you know exactly how much is going on there, and it just works better, because coarse is going to fall off and it's not going to cover nothing. It just, but yeah, anyway, that's my opinion. So fine ground black pepper. Give the skin a good dusting. And so when that deep fries up and crispy, that's going to have a nice salt and pepper flavor. Okay, so we got that. Give it a good pat. Now on the front side, what I got here is, this is a spice that we discovered in Taiwan. It's street food. It's called street food flavor spice. It has got salt and pepper and stuff in there. It's really good. If you can't find this, it's not necessary. This is just something I like. So I'm going to put that on there. We find it at our local Ranch 99 Asian market. You can buy it there. Just put that on there. That's going to give it a good flavor. Want to open up the little slits and let that down in there. There we go. That way it goes all the way through that fish. Give it a good rub. Remember, this is your fish. Do with it what you want. There we go. And of course, salt, but not too much though. And for this dish, you want to use a white meated fish, like tilapia. You can use tilapia. I had it in a Thai restaurant and they use rainbow trout. They cook it with that, but a rainbow trout for me, there's not enough meat there. It's just not big enough. But you can use tilapia, trout, halibut, any nice thick white codfish maybe work. Any white meated fish you get that you can get with a nice thick skin on it. Salmon, I don't know, because it's a strong flavor. And so I really wouldn't recommend salmon for this, but you can try it if you want. And on top of that, I got this here, pimentón de la vera. This is a nice, it is a paprika. It's hot paprika. I get from some of my friends. They got a website called Carter and Coles. And so if you want to use the exact same I got, you can go with that. Just check it out, Carter and Coles. Good people, find it there. And I'm going to put that on there. And this is going to give it, when you deep fry it, it's going to give this fish a nice golden color brown there, a little red cast to it, so it looks pleasant to the eye. And it's also got a good flavor, so yeah. And that is all I'm going to put on this fillet. And of course, give it a good smack down. It looks like my grease is hot out there, my oil is hot out there. I got a little burner I set on the back porch here and to do all my deep frying there. That's what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna cut this in half. It cooks faster and also it's also separated, you know. I'm keto, my wife's not, so I'm making sure that we have what we like. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this out there, put it in deep frying oil, cook it up, and when it's done, I'm gonna come back and show you how it looks and then put the salad on there and show what it's all about. Okay, I'll be back in just a quick blink of an eye. Okay folks, so here it is. The fish is done deep frying. As you can see it fried up nice and brown. There's no flour, there's nothing on there, just the fish and some spices. And so what we're gonna do now is just plate this up. The cabbage here, this nice little mango cabbage salad is ready to go on there. And so we're just gonna go ahead and put this on there. You want the juice on there and everything goes on that fish. There we go. You just put that right on top of there. Put it around the plate. The mango, the cabbage. And that's all gonna soak into that fish. The mango juices, the tomato, everything that's all there. And that, my friends, it's my version of a Thai trout salad. This part here it's all keto except for the little mango, but my version has no mango, so it's completely keto. It's fantastic, it's tasty, it's satisfying, it's healthy. So hopefully you like it. Try it, share it, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Until next time, folks, God bless.